Miami won their fourth straight game on Sunday and are on the top teams in the East. And with Tyler Herro set to return on Monday, can the team be even better?
Adding a 24-point per game score to the mix? What's the debate?
You are Locked On Heat, your daily Miami Heat podcast, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
All right, welcome to Locked On Heat, your daily podcast on the Miami Heat, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day. Now the #1 sports podcast network. Whether you're tuning in on YouTube or on your favorite podcast app, thanks for making Locked On Heat your first listen every day. Join the Cookie Gang and become an everydayer. That means subscribing, tuning in every day, Monday through Friday, and signing up for the Locked On Heat text line with the link in the show notes. Our up-tempo take comes from Malachi, who writes in, this front court between Bam and Ware is becoming so dynamic. We're going to talk about that throughout today's episode, plus get into some credit cookies and get to some of your listener questions. Today's episode is brought to you by FanDuel. Right now, new customers can bet just $5, and if your bet wins, you'll get $300 in bonus bets to use across the app. Head to FanDuel.com to get started. I'm Wes Goldberg, host of Locked On NBA Daily and Real Gem Radio. I'm here with David Ramil. Both of us are credentialed Heat media members who cover this team every day. We're recording this on Sunday afternoon after the Heat's big win over the Philadelphia 76ers. Tight one pretty much throughout the game. Then Miami pulls away, gets the win. A nice, relaxing win, David, on a Sunday afternoon. The Heat went with Kel'el Ware and Bam Adebayo in the starting lineup again with Andrew Wiggins out, Nikola Jovic out, Tyler Herro obviously still out. The 76ers were without Joel Embiid, so they started Andre Drummond. And one of the things I was looking for early in this game, David, was considering all the rebounding issues that this team has had, Andre Drummond is one of the elite rebounders we've seen in this league ever, right? So Andre Drummond against Kel'el Ware and Bam Adebayo, would they be able to handle it? Specifically Kel'el Ware. And I got to tell you, Ware stepped up. He was tremendous in this game. Did he finish a plus 26, I believe, in this one? He was a plus 20 in Friday night's win over the Bulls. We haven't talked since then. David, this feels like it could potentially be a breakthrough for Kel'el Ware. The way that he's playing, and the numbers are the numbers, and those are great. The rebound, he had a double-double in the first half of this game. All that stuff is great. But I'm watching these games too, and he's acting different, man. Like, he looks different. He's playing with a level of physicality. I think the highlight that the Heat tweeted out was the one where he got Drummond on that double move, where he ends up finishing with the left hand. That was in the first quarter. But my favorite play from Ware in the entire game was, I think it was in the second quarter, just bodying up two different 76ers to get from underneath the basket, kind of like pinned under the, like near the stanchion, kind of comes up from under there, muscles his way into position, and gets an offensive rebound and a putback. That was my favorite play of this game. But he's using that physicality. He's not just using his physicality, but using his reach, using his length in a way that it's been a thing that you and I have talked about. It just feels like he doesn't always play to his size. But in this game, he definitely did. Against Chicago, it seemed like he really did. And I'm wondering, based on what we're seeing on the court right now, is this the breakthrough that we've been waiting for Kel'el?
Undoubtedly. I really think this is just a completely different version of the player that we saw, because I think as he's continuing to develop all those physical traits, as well as the skill set that he's fine-tuned since he joined the league, there's a mental edge there now that he didn't have at the start of the season and that we haven't really seen for much of his career. He's acting with aggression. He's moving with intent. His timing has been so great. One of the small things that I've really liked about Kel'el, his ability to snatch the ball off the rim at just the precise moment. It almost feels like it's a goaltend waiting to happen, or more akin to what we see in international FIBA basketball, where he can just snatch the ball off. But his timing is perfect. Like, he's really got that down nailed. And he's just able to ignite either at the end of a possession and then also to a transition basket for Miami. It's been so good to watch this new version of him. I can't help but think it's a breakthrough, because it's clearly the best version of him that we've seen. And it feels like it's not just permanent, but sustainable too. Like, he can continue to get better even from what we saw.
Yeah, there's definitely still parts of his game that you want to see rounded out. I think defensively, there's still leaps and bounds that he can get better. To me, it's I would like to see him get better as a shot blocker too. Like, the timing thing is starting to get better. It's not exactly where I want it to be, but if he's just like that stuff's going to come with time. Right now, it's, does he have the right intensity? Does he have the right level of urgency? And I do wonder how much of this has to do with the fact that he's just playing next to Bam.
Yeah, I think
And
it's a huge card.
it is, but like then you watch the game, and I mean it's really easy to just sort of draw that line from A to B, right? They start playing Ware with Bam, and all of a sudden Ware starts playing better. Therefore, Ware must play with Bam in order to maximize Ware and maximize a C team that's looked really good in wins against Chicago and Philadelphia. But then I'm watching this game too, and there's a lot of minutes where, because Bam and Ware are the only centers who are playing right now. Jovic isn't even playing. So they're basically with one of those guys at all times. So they start games together. They don't play a ton of minutes together, despite starting together. Bam played 32 and a half minutes in this one. Kel'el played 26 minutes in this one. Like I said, Kel'el ended up being a plus 26, 20 points and 16 rebounds in this game on 7 of 13 shooting. That's 54% overall. Did make 2 3-pointers in this one. But I'm watching Kel'el by himself out there without Bam. And he's still playing with that level of physicality. This has nothing to do in my, maybe over like some of the plus minus stuff and overall, maybe it sets the tone early, but I do think that there's something else happening here. And to me, I would say the percentage of, hey, this is because he's playing with Bam, maybe 15%, 20% maybe playing with Bam. I think this is mostly just sort of Kel'el doing it.
I can't take credit for that. And I mean, honestly, I have to rewatch the minutes there. But to me, I feel like it's worked well when they've been on there. I think his 3-point shot's available to him at a point in time when Bam's not available. Like he's the one who can drift into the corner the same way Bam can. So I think that certainly helped in his regard. But I defensively, like some of the key positions that he had there, those abilities to pull down those rebounds, block shots, I think Bam's presence out there certainly does help. But it can't take anything away from what we've seen from him. Like he's been really, really good. And it's impressive to see this incredible leap from him. And he's tying it all together, all the traits, the mental toughness and awareness. I mean, we just didn't see this from him, except for maybe spurts. And I think the confidence is there. You wonder what happens when Andrew Wiggins comes back. Like, is Khalil too good to bench at this point? Like, I mean, that seems like a strange question because he just came off the bench before Andrew got hurt.
It's a great question, right? And it was one I'm thinking about because, yeah, I think part of this is Kel'el making this breakthrough, and that's obviously helped. The Bam and Ware lineup has also, like, I'm not saying that has nothing to do with anything, right? Like, it has a lot to do with winning these games against Chicago and Philadelphia and minimizing this rebounding issue that has become a real issue, right? It kind of goes back to the math problem. Miami right now is averaging 96 field goal attempts per game. Opponents are averaging about 99. Like, they're losing, despite all the Heat are losing the possession battle on the season. And it's because of all the offensive rebounds that these teams have been getting. Now, there's some noise in that number, right? A lot of that number just has to do with those 5 games that Bam was out. And that's a huge part in this. So if you eliminate those games where Bam was, if you only include the games where Bam's available, whether or not Bam is playing with Ware or Ware's coming off the bench to start these games or whatever, the possession battle is very different. But still, what that shows you is that the margin for error is pretty thin when it comes to the rebounding thing. They have to be dialed in. And the way to kind of minimize that risk is to just play Bam and Ware together. At least for these opening few minutes when teams do tend to start a little bit bigger and before they can kind of set the tone on the offensive glass and all those things. So I do think there's something to starting them together. The rebounding issue has just basically gone away since they've been together. And you just can't ignore that fact. So to your point, David, when Wiggins comes back, I think it means Pelle Larsson goes to the bench. And I think you continue to start Bam and Ware.
That's an interesting proposition there. We should point out, of course, that rookie sensation VJ Edgecombe was out for Philadelphia, but I don't know how much it really would have mattered. Like,
it would have mattered a lot. Minutes. I love Edgecombe.
You think so?
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. I get that.
He would have cooked them.
You think so? I don't know. Miami's defense.
No, maybe not. I'm joking. Solid. I'm joking. There's so much young Dwayne Wade in Edgecombe's game that I'm just like falling in love with this guy like every day. But
I get it. I get it.
Yeah, but
I think Miami was really good. And we'll talk about. I think their backcourt did a really good job defensively. The combination of Powell and Mitchell was really good, and you can throw Larson into the mix too because I think he was really helpful in spades. And it was just even Hyman, like it looked really solid out there defensively. So I can't wait to talk about them in the next.
Yeah, I mean, to your point though, if Edgecombe's in there, maybe Trendon Watford isn't scoring 19 points off the bench. Maybe Justin Edwards, isn't going on his little run. Maybe Jared McCain doesn't go on his little run, right? Yeah. So I don't think one Edgecombe in this is enough to swing this game towards the Sixers' way. I think this was a really solid win for the Heat. It was a solid win Friday night against Chicago. That was a blowout win. I mean, there was, and they're playing really well. Coming back home Monday night against the Dallas Mavericks for that second night of a back-to-back. A lot to talk about in terms of that game and Tyler Herro's potential return. But before we get to that, we've got credit cookies coming up next.
Today's episode is brought to you by Gusto. Let's be real, no one starts a business for the joy of calculating tax withholdings or managing payroll spreadsheets. Well, that's where Gusto comes in, to take the stress out of payroll, benefits, and HR so you can focus on running your business and supporting your team. Gusto is the all-in-one remote-friendly payroll and HR platform that makes managing your team simple, transparent, and fast. Whether you're hiring, onboarding, or paying employees, Gusto helps you do it all from one place without the hassle or hidden fees. There's unlimited payroll runs for one monthly price, which means no surprise charges at the end of the month. And knowing that you can reach certified HR experts anytime gives you real peace of mind. So try Gusto today at gusto.com. That's gusto.com/LockedOnNBA and get 3 months free when you run your first payroll. That's right, 3 months free at free payroll at gusto.com/LockedOnNBA. One more time, that's gusto.com/LockedOnNBA. Today's episode is also brought to you by Wayfair. The holiday season's right around the corner, and that means it's time to get your home ready. Whether you need more seating for guests, cozy new linens, or fun serveware for holiday hosting, Wayfair's Black Friday sale is here to help you make your space shine. And the best part, well, you don't have to wait, because Wayfair's Black Friday deals are happening all month long with up to 70% off everything, from sofas to spatulas. The holidays clearly changes the way that you host. Maybe you're having parties, maybe you're having guests, maybe you're even having people stay over at the house for a couple of days. Everybody's situation can vary, but one thing you'll probably need is a wide array of home furnishings, goods, everything that you need for your kitchen, for any room in the house, really. You'll find it on Wayfair. It gets to you fast, it gets to you quickly, and you'll find the best prices available for each of those things that you're looking for. So don't miss out on early Black Friday deals. Head to wayfair.com now to shop Wayfair's Black Friday sale for up to 70% off. That's WAYFAIR.com. Sale ends December 7th. We'll be right back.
Thanks again for making Locked On Heat your first listen every day.
Cookie guy, cookie guy, cookie guy, cookie guy. Stack them high.
It's another Heat win, which means it's time to the tastiest segment of Locked On Heat. It's time for credit cookies. David, 10 cookies. Who's getting them first?
We've been listening to this song a lot lately, 4 times in a row now, so pretty impressive stuff. We talked about Kel'el Ware in the first segment, so let's just get that one out of the way. Obviously, huge minutes, really, really great overall. Could have given him more, but I felt like another player deserved another part of the bulk of the cookies there. So I gave Kel'el 4 credit cookies.
Yep, sounds good. I can probably guess who's getting the other big sampling of cookies here. Is it Powell?
It is Norman Powell. He gets 4 cookies as well. I think
Wow.
he was just great. Yeah, that's the scoring in the first quarter. We see that kind of wane over the last couple of games, but it was really back today, and it just felt like one of his great shooting games. Like you could see early on, he had no hesitation at his 3-point shot, shooting it from distance, attacking the rim. It didn't matter who was trying to guard him. He was just really, really aggressive. But I liked his overall game today too. You know, he had 2 steals and an assist along with 4 rebounds. The steals in particular I want to highlight because it felt like at one point Philadelphia felt like they could attack Miami's backcourt, and Powell held his own and had a really great strip to ignite a fast break opportunity, played really solid. He's been so much better in that regard. So when we start talking about his all-star chances, which I think are getting better and better with every passing game, you have to look at the total breadth of his game, because not only is he scoring at an incredibly high level, one of the top scorers in the league this season, but he's been really great overall, far from the defensive weakness that we or some people might have anticipated that he'd be with Miami. I think he's actually been a plus defender by a wide margin, and we saw that today where he was extremely impactful against that backcourt.
There's been a couple of times this year, and including a specific instance in this game where it would be like the end of a quarter or the end of the half or something, and it was the end of the first half in this game where it's a defensive possession for Miami, right? And Spo would put in his defensive lineup, and a lot of times Powell's out there, right? In this game, Wiggins isn't available, but he takes Larson out, he puts Powell in. Like, I think with Larson, it's a little still, there's concerns about him fouling, and you just don't want to foul at the end of a quarter. But with, like, he clearly does still trust Norm Powell. I love the offensive game from him, especially early in this game. He ends up with he scored 10 of Miami's first 16 points.
Yeah,
and just
so good.
he's been such a breath of fresh air in first quarters for this offense.
Yeah.
I don't know. I can't recall the last time we've had a guy quite like this. Jimmy Butler was always sort of a sandbag for the fourth quarter kind of guy. Even Tyler Herro's best moments, he kind of revs up. But Powell just comes out swinging, man. Like, this guy's just like, he's already sweating when the ball's tipped, and he's just ready to go. His first 5 shots in this game, pull-up jumper from 3, driving layup, pull-up jumper from 3, pull-up two-pointer, pull-up jumper from 3. It's just bang, 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 bang. And when he has these pull-up jumpers in transition early in the shot clock, there's nothing you can do about it as a defense. There's no friction. There's nothing to go through. He's simply just running the ball, moving the ball up, and then just shooting it over the defense. There's no defense for that. And it's just, to have that in the first quarter has just been tremendous. It's a big reason why the Heat are one of the best first quarter teams in the NBA. So very, very obviously deserving of those 4 cookies. Who else?
No, I've got to say with Powell too, he doesn't seem like this incredible athlete either, but he just finds a way to pop and just get his shots so easily. And then his touch around the basket, I mean, we've seen him for most of his, not entirely his career, but I think it's just gotten better and better. Like right now, he's shooting with such confidence around the rim. He finishes so deftly there. He's just such a huge asset. Miami continues to have pulled off an incredible acquisition this summer. I've also got
the best trade of the offseason so far. I mean, you could probably put Kevin Durant in there just given where Houston is in the Western Conference standings, but based on what you gave up, I mean, come on.
Best value
by
deal
the way,
I think we've seen.
Kevin Love's been pretty good for Utah. He hit like 3 straight 3-pointers the other night for the Jazz. So maybe it was a little bit of a win-win. I don't know. The Clippers definitely lost that 3-way trade, but
I would have loved to have seen if he could come off the bench for this team. And
Kevin Love?
Yeah.
He could have played this last week without Bam for sure.
Who
Nico,
else? Yeah, for sure. I've got one for Bam Adebayo. Really solid game for him. Continues to shoot well. 7-14 from the floor, 13 rebounds, assists, a steal, 18 total points. I think it was just a really solid game from him. Not spectacular, and again, you can't overlook it just because we're used to this sort of level of production from Bam. But I think it was a really solid game for him. And then I've got one.
One last thing on Bam though.
Yes.
There was a key stretch in the second half, the third quarter, where Powell was going off and Bam was going off, and they were doing it at the same time. And Miami they extended their lead. They went from it was like a 1-point lead or something, I think, to a 14-point lead, and that was huge. It was 2 main runs that kind of sealed this game. That was the first one, and that was really big. Bam in that third quarter, 5 points, 4 rebounds, made his first 3-pointer after he missed his first 3-point attempts, and that kind of unlocked him a little bit offensively. And I thought he was really good early on, specifically against Philadelphia's zone. He knew what to do. Like when the zone defense is out there and Bam is available, one of the Heat's go-to moves is, hey, just get Bam near that free throw line and try to bust up the middle of that zone a little bit. They understand the assignment, and Bam being able to deliver on that is huge early in these games.
I thought he was great guarding Paul George too. It was nice to see that sort of matchup. George now a power forward basically at this stage of his career. Bam still able to pick him up. Held him to 3 of 10 shooting. I don't think he hit a 3-pointer all game long. Yeah,
10 points on 10 shots. Missed all 5 of his threes. You don't even. It's so sad because everybody
remember
when
people wanted. Yeah. Remember when people wanted to trade Jimmy for Paul George here in Miami?
It's like, man, I didn't say that, right? That wasn't one of my takes.
No.
Okay.
No.
I didn't know if that was like a subliminal.
No.
That was a subliminal at me. All right. One more cookie.
One more cookie. I've got to give it to Jaime Jaquez just because of the overall impact, efficiency of his game. Really aggressive. And I do also want to shout out his defense, similar to what I said about Norm. I thought they were really looking to attack it. Paul George in particular looked like, oh, okay, I can get to this guy. He did not. He did not. Clearly, 3 of 10 from the floor. I think Jaime did a really good job botting up. He's moving well laterally, making adjustments, making good reads. It just seems like he's really grown. I think there are still weak spots in the defensive end, no doubt, but he's getting better, and I just felt like we should acknowledge that. I thought, look, Pelle Larsson had some really key moments. Keshad Johnson providing a nice spark off the bench for a second straight game. So honorable mention to them, but I think Jaime has to get the last cookie with 22 points in the night.
Yeah, no cookies for Pella or Keshad, but they get to go near the kitchen and smell it.
Maybe free samples. You give them a free sample.
They're like dogs looking for crumbs on the floor. Like that's
crumbs.
Jaime was great. What I really liked about Jaime's game was he had 6 points in the first quarter, 4 points in the second quarter, 4 points in the third quarter, and then 8 points to help close it out in the fourth quarter. That's the best. Like, if you're going to spread out the points in any way, that's probably the optimal way to do it, right? He's consistently making an impact. He never disappeared in this game. He was always doing stuff. Defensively, I'm with you. I thought it was a really strong defensive game from Jaime, but then offensively, he's just around doing stuff all the time. The Jaime Jaquez things. And then in the fourth quarter, when they really needed it, hey, here's 8 points on 3-for-3 shooting. Let's close this team out. Let's go home. You know what I mean? So that was great from him. And I think your shout outs for the honorable mentions are right. Bam has gotten 10 credit cookies on the season, and I just want to call that out. I understand he missed a lot of time, but that does not feel like it's been enough credit cookies for Bam, and we've had our disagreements about how many cookies Bam should get, and I do think maybe you're taking them for granted a little bit here. I just want to call that out as we hand out credit cookies in the future, hopefully pretty soon. So just got to get.
Let's see how he plays against AD. Right. It's a big game on Monday. He usually handles that matchup pretty well.
Is Anthony Davis going to play?
Oh, well, never.
I think he's still out, right? He's out until the owner says so or something like that. There's weird stuff going on in Dallas. Check out Locked On Mavericks for more on that. Seriously, it's probably a good idea to check out Locked On Mavericks. There's a lot going on with Dallas if you want to know more about what's going on with the Mavericks. Coming up, listener questions, including one about Tyler Herro, who could be making his return Monday night. We're very excited about it, but a lot of people still have questions. Talk about that next.
Today's episode is brought to you by FanDuel. The NBA is back, and there's no better place to get in on the action than FanDuel, the official sports betting partner of the NBA. Even if you missed the start of the game or want to ride the hot hand, FanDuel has live bets on everything from who will score next to fourth quarter comebacks. Plus, you can even combine your live bets into a same-game parlay for a shot at a bigger payout. Keeps every game exciting, especially when your team's making that late push. But, Wes, I feel like you might have some options for an upcoming wager.
Well, I just want to point this out because we told all of you a week into the year, Jaime Jaquez Jr., sixth man of the year. I said on a previous episode that there was a point where you can get him at plus 2,000. We had a listener write in and say, actually, I got him at plus 4,000 when you guys were first talking about it. I'm like, wow, plus 4,000. He is now the overwhelming favorite to win sixth man of the year. Overwhelming favorite right now to win sixth man. Now, things can change, but if you were listening to us in this ad read early in the season, the value would have been great. So here's what I'm going to do instead. I'm going to tell you what's the next time I Jaquez Jr. Since you already missed, you might have missed out on the first one. Next one, Erik Spoelstra for Coach of the Year.
Ooh, dark horse.
Still get the odds plus 1,000. If the Heat end up with a top 4 seed, he is going to be on ballots. The value for Spo for Coach of the Year at plus 1,000, if the Heat are a top 4 seed in the East, home court advantage in the first round, Erik Spoelstra has so much respect around the league and among the voting base. People are looking for a reason to give this guy Coach of the Year. He is not slept on. He just hasn't won this thing. And I think people are looking for a reason to give it to him. And by the way, he will be deserving if that's the case. So Spo, Coach of the Year, plus 1,000 right now on FanDuel. That to me is the next time Jaquez Jr. I think get in now before the Heat go on a long win streak, right? Bam's back, Kel'el Ware in the starting lineup. Now's the time to do it.
Good point. Can't go wrong with that. We'll be right back.
Thanks again for making Locked On Heat your first listen every day. The best way to support the show, like and subscribe on YouTube. Follow us on your favorite podcast app. Let's go to the text line. You can get text from us and submit questions for the post-game shows like this. The link in the show notes or just text 786-998-7029. Eric writes in, hit free throws and it's over much earlier, I guess, is what he meant to say. Good win, though. It is a good win. If the Heat have had some weird free throw games this season. This is a good free throw shooting team historically, even without Jimmy Butler in there. Jimmy Butler obviously helped that, but with Herro back, I think hopefully that free throw percentage overall will improve. But yeah, Norm Powell, it's been a little weird for him lately, but overall it's been fine.
He's been such a good free throw shooter, so that when he's a little off, I think they talked about it on the broadcast today, Scott.
He's like a 90% career free throw shooter.
Yeah, so he's having his moment there, but he'll work his way through. Pelle Larson's a little concerning too, 2 of 5. We think he's a better free throw shooter than that, but it was just a bad shooting game from him. So I think those are the 2 more egregious cases. And you're right, though. Tyler's going to get minutes from both of them, get opportunities from both of them, and he's going to be able to get to the line as well as he did last year. That should translate into a higher percentage overall. So I don't think it's a big concern for this team, nor do I. Again, typically they shoot free throws at a very high rate, and I don't think it's like, oh, that's like a glaring weak spot for this team, especially in playoff situations.
So Tyler Herro is targeting Monday night, maybe tonight when people are listening to this, recording this 4 o'clock on Sunday.
Yeah.
Monday night, that's the target to make a season debut after offseason surgery. We mentioned it on a podcast earlier this week. It's been reported and confirmed by the Miami Herald and the Associated Press. Monday night against the Dallas Mavericks. Now, TBD on whether or not it happens, but it seems like right now things are trending in that direction. So as long as there's no minor setback here with Tyler Herro, I'm expecting him to play Monday night against the Dallas Mavericks. And there's a lot to get into with that. And we've talked a lot about whether or not he can help the Heat's offense, whether he's going to hurt them defensively, if he's going to take the ball away from guys like Norman Powell, all that stuff. David, I think we've talked enough about that part of this where I think we could safely say, we'll see. But I do think I think with like we saw with the Lakers and LeBron, it was a little awkward that first quarter when LeBron came back to a Lakers team that was playing well with Luka and Austin Reeves handling so much of the offense. Yeah. But then they figured it out. And Tyler Herro's not LeBron James. That's not what I'm trying to say. But I think why I bring that up is even for somebody like LeBron, it's still just a little weird and a little awkward when you walk into a situation where things are going well and you're not trying to kind of rock the boat too much, but you also know that you need to be of value and you need to make an impact and you need to do the things that got you paid and got you to that place and made you an all-star. And so for Tyler Herro, my only thing is, if it's weird for the first game or so, don't freak out. Give it some time. It's a brand new offense too, which is a big deal that Herro has obviously been a part of the install, but hasn't actually played in it. Yeah. So I think we do need to have some patience here before we make any huge reaction decisions and big takeaways from that.
I'm going to say to heck with all that. You know what? I think he's going to go in there and be great. That's really what I think. I really think it's going to be incredible to see him out there because he's a guy who keeps in shape. He's had the benefit of being there and watching this offense play out. And I think it's understated, and most players don't like talking about it because they are injured. But everyone I've ever asked that question, they always admit that when they're sitting for prolonged stretches of time, they see the game better. They see it differently, and they witness things that, from the outsider's perspective, that they don't while they're on the court. And I think Tyler, as smart as he is, he's going to be able to figure something out, and he's going to be able to just pop right in and be like, no, this is my spot. I'm just taking it. And I think he's actually going to be really, really good. If there's overall physical rust, I don't think there will be, but that's possible. But overall, I just think he's going to be really, really good almost immediately, if not right away in the game.
There'll probably be like a light minutes restriction. Again, the Heat never call these things minutes restrictions, or I should say very rarely do they. Maybe with Tyler they will because it was a major offseason
comes off the bench, right? He has to, doesn't he?
Yeah, I have no idea, right? Like I have no idea. They could start him and maybe they're able to. But yeah, I would imagine in order to manage his minutes, if there is a minutes restriction there, it's probably a little bit easier if you bring him off the bench. But who knows? TBD. I mean, the guy's been a starter his whole career, and with somebody like Tyler Herro, just him being out there makes an impact because of his spacing. So maybe you do want him in the starting lineup. So I don't know. This question comes from Billy Kuhn, who writes in, so I was thinking, Tyler took a huge offensive jump last season, and the Heat had a terrible offense that I think he was single-handedly propping up. Well, I was recently reminded of all the times Wes has pointed out how Tyler Herro adopted Steph Curry's shot chart last season. So I was thinking, with Powell as a high-level scorer, a renewed Bam, and Spo's new offense, could all of that help Herro make another leap? Could we see a similar impact to Herro's game, like when the Warriors saw Steve Kerr bring in his new offense to Golden State? I don't mean that Herro's in this new offense is going to be an MVP level player like Steph, but Bleacher Report had Steph going into the 2012-2013 season ranked the 38th best player in the league. At the end of the season, Bleacher Report had him ranked 4. Can Herro in this offense be a top 20 player?
Wow.
So
what a great question.
Isn't it? That's fascinating, and I love the fact that Billy used our logic on us to ask us kind of a follow-up question here. So Locked On's top 100 has Tyler Herro ranked 50th going into the year. In terms of top 20, I'm just going to run through the top 20 here, and then we can have this broader conversation. So they've got we have Jokic, Shea, Giannis, Luka, Steph is our top 5. Then it's Ant, Wembanyama, Brunson, Donovan Mitchell, Jason Tatum to round out your top 10. Kevin Durant, LeBron, Halliburton, Anthony Davis, Cade Cunningham is your top 15. Evan Mobley, Kawhi, Booker, Towns, and Jalen Williams top 20. I think there's a couple of guys now that we can move out of that. Tatum doesn't count because he's not playing. Kawhi, forget it. I had him ranked like 40th when I did this. I couldn't believe he was ranked as high as he did.
J-Dub hasn't played either. So.
J-Dub hasn't played, but we expect him probably to be a top 20-ish guy when he comes back, as long as everything is copacetic with him. But even after that, it's like Jaylen Brown, Pascal Siakam, Paolo Banchero, James Harden, Jaren Jackson Jr. That's your top 25. So top 20 to me, that seems a little high. But the idea overall that there's another leap coming because of this offensive system for Herro is very intriguing to me.
Yeah, I have to agree there. I just don't think he's going to get the usage as some of those other guys, as almost all of those guys. And so having to share the ball with Powell, Bam, and just the way this offense is moving, it doesn't. I don't know. It's a great question because it's not like Powell is just different in that sense that Tyler, I think, a little bit more quick trigger with his shot selection. But you wonder, can Tyler adopt that? It's not like he doesn't have that in his game, but it's just been a little bit more deliberate because he didn't really have anybody take the pressure on him, to Billy's question there. So I don't know. A leap like that to get to where he is right now, you have to put up close to 28 points per game, right? 25 to 28 points per game to get that kind of recognition as one of the top players in the league.
Yeah, I mean, is it crazy to put him, if he were to average something like that, I don't think it would be crazy to put him in that 23 to 24 range where Paolo Banchero and James Harden are.
Yeah.
I mean, if he's that on three-point shooting with that level of efficiency and true shooting percent and all the everything that goes with it, that is a top 25 player. But I'm even thinking of a guy who's playing off of another guy like Norm Powell a little bit. I'm looking at that 33 to 34 zone where we have De'Aaron Fox and Jamal Murray and Franz Wagner, 33, 34, 35.
Garland.
Garland is a little bit, Garland, where did we have him? 27. So that's probably like between 27 and 35-ish. I mean, that's a pretty significant leap even still, right, for Tyler Herro. And that totally is feasible to me. I think that's definitely in the wheelhouse as long as he comes into this offense. In other words, if Tyler Herro comes in, embraces everything that this offense is, I think that's an entirely realistic goal for him.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting. I'm really looking forward to it. Just the bigger question of how Tyler handles it, but also just in the things that maybe he's added to his game a little bit because we haven't even seen him. Like the whole offseason, we always typically see him develop to a certain degree and then, being able to incorporate new aspects to his game or a level of physicality, and then the injury derails all that. So what version of Tyler are we going to get and how is he going to fit into this new offense? So really great questions about his potential impact, but I think both you and I are pretty optimistic that he's going to make an immediate impact right away.
We'll talk about it in the post-game show Monday night. That'll do it for us today. Let us know in the comments section how you think Tyler Herro is going to fit in if he does indeed make his return on Monday night. Is this a breakthrough for Kel'el Ware? Do we need to see a little bit more? Let us know in the comments section. But this has been Locked On Heat, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.